Hello my friends. In today's video we are going to be playing with Alex Siberia's new collection along with a couple extras. This one here is the Summer Flower. It is absolutely gorgeous and we're going to be really focusing on backgrounds. The Peony Blossom is quite interesting. It is a horizontal plate, but it can go and be used in all different ways on your your A2 cards. Like I've used it like that and I turned it around. But you can use it in all different directions. Now this card here was actually on the BetterPress Babes live event that we had previously. So I can link that below if you'd like to watch that fun event with the BetterPress Babes. This set here is the Essential Sentiments. It is really functional. And the Butterfly Bliss die set is a keeper. Now we're going to be bringing in a couple extra items, but this is the sample I had in the BetterPress Babes night out as well. Now this one here is the Charming Floral background from her last release, and we're going to be creating a card similar to the one I just showed you in gold. So you'll get to see how I actually created that, because I didn't create it in the BetterPress Babes Live, but I thought you guys that were there that night might want to see it come to fruition. So I am going to go ahead and start tonight, or today's video, with that one. And we're going to actually make 5 cards today, and they're going to progressively get a little more challenging, but they're all very easy. So stick around for all 5 of these different ways to make backgrounds. They're each a little different in their own way. A couple of them are very similar, but they're all essentially really easy backgrounds using and utilizing BetterPress items. So here I'm just going to die cut these real quick, and then we're going to focus on pressing our plate. That is our main focus today, but I'm going to go ahead and add this tape to my press plate here, and then we're going to add the paper. And I do this a few different ways today to show you different ways you can add paper to your plate. Now I'm going to ink this up with the pigment Metallic Ink by Lisa Horton, and this ink is very nice and rich, and it clings really well to your plate so you can get a really nice coverage. This is my favorite metallic ink to use with the BetterPress. It is just nice and juicy, and it just really gives a great coverage. All of her metallic inks do. So this one here is the copper. So we had a gold one in the first sample, and now we're going to do a copper rendition. The copper paper that I actually die cut out was from Alt New, and I'm just going to press this out real quick. So pretty. Check it out. Look at that coverage. And these plates are actually pressing the background, which leaves you the white area. Now I'm using LDRS Creative's Extreme Clean. On this one I'm showing you with pigment ink, which is usually, it's sticky, but it usually will come off. But then I show you later in the video archival ink, which is your BetterPress ink, which is stubborn. So I leave both of them in just so you can see. The Abstract Floral is a previous plate from her last collection. Now this background is going to be strategic. I'm going to use a piece of pattern paper. Now look at this crazy pattern paper, but I thought the colors were really bright and vibrant, and we're going to totally lose the pattern, but I wanted the bright colors in all the different places. And then again, this plate inks in the background. It inks the background as if it was like a reverse foil per se. You know how your reverse foil, you get the background. Now, that ink pad needed some love. If you see how the inking there on the press plate there is really splotchy. So I'm going to leave in this so you can see how I ink my ink pads. I thought this might be helpful for some people. So I left this in the video just as a little tutorial. And look how that pad just soaks up that ink automatically. That baby was thirsty. So look at that. And I left that in, I did not cut any of that out there. So look at how of a difference that made inking that background though. It is solid. And that is what you want on these backgrounds. You want a nice solid impression. And both the Lisa Horton ink did that for me, and now this BetterPress ink is doing that for me. And check out what we end up getting when we press this pattern paper. Now, of course, if you're going to press flat glossy paper, you're not going to get the actual impression, but you're going to get a perfect stamped image. And this does not disappoint. This is a very cool, intricate background that leaves those darkened areas pure black, and then all of your actual floral designs are there in all bright, pretty colors. So here is the Extreme Clean in its glory. This plate is nasty. So Extreme Clean is by LDRS Creative. That's ldrscreative.com. I do have a 15% discount code, and they have some gorgeous press plates as well. So make sure you check them out. That code is good all of the time. And I also want to let you know Alex Siberia is also giving us a discount code for our video. She is offering us a 5% discount code to use all the time as well. So thank you, Miss Alex. I am so thankful. Most companies do not do that for us. They do not give us discount codes. And these small companies are coming along with the BetterPress Babes and supporting our efforts. So this is such a huge, huge deal. When the BetterPress community is being supported like this, we want to thank them in all ways that we can. So now this piece of paper here is also from that same paper pack. And I chose this piece because of the coloring. I wanted my sunflower. I wanted it to be colored that yellowishy orange. And I thought, let's do the same thing, but strategically choose the paper to the color I wanted my image. So I've inked up plate again, the same as before. And we're going to strategically put it so that the image is in the direction of the yellow. And check it out. Is that not awesome? I love that. So, okay. So now this is a technique I did in the live the other night, but it was hard to see. It's hard to see when we craft together with the smaller screens. So I wanted to do it again as a follow-up. Now I did it there on the left, and I accidentally did it on BetterPress paper. So it's really dull. It has some splotchy brown areas because I did too much water, and BetterPress paper doesn't take water nicely. This is now watercolor paper. So the essence of what we're doing is we're using our water-based ink pads, and we're using acetate. We're putting the water or the ink pads down onto our glass mat or any other non-porous surface that you have. And we are using a piece of acetate to pick up the pigment, and we're smushing it onto our watercolor. And look, already you can see the vibrance difference in the two. So you heat dry in between the layers, especially when you're using more water. And then you can just do more and more layers. Now, I didn't do many layers in the live because of time. I did a little bit more today in the video. Now here, I was trying to get some extra interest here. I did not do this in the live, but I wanted to show you a little more in depth in the video. So I'm wanting little splotches. You see that? I wanted interest. So I brought that in of that color I was trying to get more of, and I added those little bits of interest. So now I'm going to do that a little bit more with some distress sprays. Now, the way I like to use distress sprays when I'm doing a background, I put up this Teflon sheet as my backdrop so I don't get my splatters on my computer. And I just take the nozzle out of my container and I use it as a splatter. I like doing this because there's control and you're not getting a big splash, from the spray itself. So I love these little droplets in the colors that I have in the background. And you can also place them individually if you want to by just dotting the actual nozzle down like you saw there. Now I thought we would go with some of these Spellbinders metallic glitter inks. And we saw Justine use these in the live the other night, so I thought I would get mine out also. I dosed a lot of water in there to activate it. And I'm just going to do a lot of these gold metallic splatters because I thought that color went with these colors, these bright colors, really well. And they really do, in person, give a nice glisten to the background. And it really did add to the background. So I'm doing a little extra than I did in the video the other night. But I wanted to just show you some extra things in this follow-up so you could see the dimension that you can get by just playing. Now I'm going to dry this so that all of those little dots that we've added or splatters that we've added could dry up so that I can put my last little layer on there. And the last layer is going to be with bubble wrap. I'm going to go a tad darker than the color I used in the background. And we're going to just add one extra layer there using bubble wrap, which is a technique that I learned at the Nashville Craft Retreat. And so we're going to go with this darker pink, and I'm just going to strategically put it over some of the pink areas, and we'll just add a little bit like that. So I'm cleaned up there with the help of YouTube. Don't want to keep you here longer than you need to be. And I'm going to just dry that really well. By drying on the front and the back, it helps your paper not to warp as much. And it really just allows your paper to adhere later better. So now for the impact, we are going to take Alex's gorgeous floral here. This, I believe, is called the abstract floral, if I'm not mistaken. I think it is the abstract floral. And we're going to make it intense and make it black on top of this gorgeous background that we've just created. And it's going to be va-va-va-voom. This is my favorite card, if you can't tell, that we've made in this video. Well, this and the last one. You got to stick around for the last one. You cannot miss the last one. So, definitely the last one. So here I'm inking this up in my well-juiced ink pad. As you can tell, it's all over my plate. And then we are going to pass this baby through. I'm just going to straighten up that sentiment there. And I'm going to wipe a little of this off. I do not want this on the back of my gorgeous panel. And we're using watercolor paper now, so it's thicker paper. And I do not want that black on my gorgeous press panel that we just made. So I'm just taking extra precautions because it's happened before, and I'm sure it's happened to you guys too, and we don't want that happening. So I'm taking extra time to make sure my sentiment's straight, make sure that black ink isn't everywhere. And now for the reveal. Check it out, guys. Did this not turn out gorgeous? I am in love. I'm in love. So that is my beauty. I love it. You guys need to make one too. So here is our last card, and I hope you guys are enjoying all of these techniques and ideas because I had a blast with these products. Alex is the bomb. I'm so glad she's teamed up with us with the BetterPress babes. Thank you, Alex, so much. You are an amazing, and I can already tell she has a heart of gold. I absolutely love working with her already. She's so personable and easy to talk to. She's, works with you one-on-one. And the fact that she's offered us the 5% discount on all of my videos, it's just amazing that she's done that for us. So definitely support her when you're shopping. She does have a UK site and a US site, which is awesome. So I do want you to know that. And I'm looking here, and we are adding this first layer. Now, when I add this first layer of wisteria, I am not going to the edges. So look at all the white little edges on the tips. Okay, that is key to what the look I'm going for. Now I'm going to go in just in the centers, just the centers. So a little of that light color is still showing. So this is how you can use your single stencils. When you have single stencils, you can use single stencils and get multicolor looks from them. So this is a technique to keep in your toolbox. Then I'm going in with a different color, icy water, and I'm going to come in on the outside of the stencil where it was white, where we left those white edges. And we're going to give them those blue tips. So everything was strategically inked from the lightest color to the darkest color and then to the tips. And this really gives you an impact when you have your finished project. So I hope this tip here has really made this video worth it. I really love the way this ends up turning out. Now we have multiple layers here. We're still going to go on from this, but I wanted you to really understand this layering because it really makes these stencils just pop. I mean, they really come to life and they give your single stencils extra life as well. So now we're going to add to this, which is going to make it even more impactful. So this layer here gives you a darker layer. So if you just went over the first stencil with one layer, one color, this would give you your second color. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take the hydrangea, which is our darker purple, and we're going to go heavy. We are going heavy because we want a even third purple color. So I'm just going super heavy with my hand. And it's giving us this deep purple. Now you could use a third purple, but I just decided to create my own by going heavy on this one where I went light the first time with wisteria. So this is going to give us a third dimension to these flowers in those darkened cast shadow areas, which here again brings it to life even more. Look at there. Isn't that cool? So interesting, right? So I didn't show the pressing of this one because it was the same as we did in the previous two. You know, it's the black background. But I did press this on Pebble cardstock, which is the BetterPress paper from Spellbinders. I used Pebble, which is not my norm, but it did not change anything. If nothing else, it gave it more of the misty vibe that I was going for. So now we're using aloe vera, which is our lighter green color, and I'm filling in all of the greens here because we have two leaves, and we could have done the same thing and gone in with multiple colors, but these leaves are really tiny. So I decided to just do your normal stenciling here, and I went in and just filled all of the leaves because then we're going to come back with a second a second green. I'm sorry. I'm kind of rushing this voiceover today because I'm doing it while my husband is sleeping before he wakes up. And I just happened to wake up early today. So I thought, well, I'm going to get something done today early. And I wanted to make sure you guys got this video this week. So this matcha tea is our second green, which is going to be our shadows. So I'm lining this one up. These stencils are really easy to line up too. And I'm going to do that. Just same thing, full color. And then we will do our last coloring, which will be the centers of our flowers. And then believe it or not, we're going to actually assemble all these cards in the video, guys. So we're going to have 5 completed cards in like 30 minutes. Can you believe that? This is a record for me. I think I was that inspired by these products. Alex's products are amazing. And I was just uber motivated by these. It was just, I don't know. I was just crazy motivated. And I just went all out and just had fun. So we're going to have all 5 cards done today. Here we go. Look at there. I really hope you guys like this one, because I really like this one. Something about the bold backgrounds. Look at there. All those colors. But they all mesh really well. So that one's going to go on a black background. Then we can look at all these backgrounds we've done. All of these we did together. Really, really cool. Well, I was going to glue that one, but then I wanted to think this out. So I've got sentiments already pressed and foiled. I think they're all foiled, actually, with her sentiments. Yeah, they're all right here in my tray. And some of these I did the other night on the BetterPress Babes. And she has 2 sets that I received, which are gorgeous. And one is elegant, more elegant. And the other one is an everyday font. And I really loved that it was an everyday. But you also have that elegance too. So make sure you check out both of those. They both are a one and done style, which is my cup of tea, guys. You know, one and done, one time through the press or the glimmer, and one time through the die cut machine. You know, and you have a handful of sentiments. So that is my type of sentiment now. I don't think I do the others very often anymore. So I'm putting together our gorgeous butterfly. This is a must-have in my book because it is the star of the show. I got to play with this at the Nashville Craft Retreat. We received this early. Alex Siberia actually designed this for the Nashville Craft Retreat. So we received it before we had the release. So that one came home with me in May. And I actually showed the cards that we made in the Nashville Craft Retreat on the BetterPress Babes Live the other night. So make sure you click that link down below and go watch that to see all of those details. They are having another retreat. It's the first holiday retreat, both virtual and in person in Nashville. I believe it's November. I'm not 100% sure about that. But you can search Nashville Craft Retreat and you will be able to find that online super easily. They also have a Facebook page. So Alex is a super sponsor for them. And that is how I got connected with her. So definitely check that out if you like those type of events. I am popping this one up. I did not do that with my other one, but because I have this gorgeous twine that I'm using, and this is from Vivant from Spellbinders website, and since I'm using this, I wanted to create a little channel there so that that would lay properly on my card and not create a ripple, you know, there in my card. I don't like that when you can see where the actual twine is laying. So I created that little place for it, and popping this up, I realized there that I did not cut down the actual card base that I pressed. So we're going to do away with that and we're going to just put it straight onto an actual card base. So yeah, I'm showing you this real time, guys. We are creating and crafting life together here. No holds bar. You know, I share with you crafting because I'm crafting along with you. And I hope you're crafting along with me. I have a Craft Life Together with Spellbinders and More Facebook group. And I hope you guys are joining me there. If you're not already a member, pop on over. I would love to have you join. And I want to see what you're making. If you grab any of these products or you're using any products of your own at home, it doesn't matter the brand. That's why I have "and more" on the title of my group. You can use any products, and I would love for you to do so. And pop them in there so I can see what you're crafting, because I want to craft life with you. That is my purpose of my channel. I tend to go to craft retreats. When I travel, I seek out people that are in my groups and craft with them when possible. I just crafted live in person with Justine Dvorak, who is the other BetterPress babe. I've crafted with numerous people in Myrtle Beach when I've traveled there with my husband. I mean, I craft with numerous people in Nashville. I love crafting with other people. So that's the reason my motto is to craft life together. So jump on over, join my group, join the BetterPress babes if you're not already there. If you're not there, you're missing out. So you definitely want to be there for different drawings, and we're actually doing Alex's drawing this evening, Monday, the 7th. She's giving away a $25 gift card for the BetterPress babes. So you definitely want to join that group and be part of that the next time we have a giveaway of a company that supports us. They are wonderful. All of the companies are wonderful and support our efforts and bringing you the best deals around. So if you missed out on the most recent deal with Alex Siberia and our special offers, do know that you can get a 5% discount still. All you have to do is use the links below, and I will put the discount code here on my screen and also in the description below, along with my links to both the US and the UK websites. It's awesome that she has 2 websites for us so that everyone can pay their normal shipping rate and not international shipping, which a lot of companies don't do. And she is a small business, a small woman-owned business. So it's amazing that she does that for us. We really appreciate that, Alex. Gosh, I love that card. So this one here, I think we're going to add an elegant sentiment. And then we're going to, yeah, I had to put a little weight on that one because it's sticking down to specialty card. So this one here, I didn't think it needed a whole lot because my main objective with this card was that background. So I didn't put a whole lot extra on this one. I just hooked it down to the black background. I grabbed out my little embellishment box here of some things I'm really wanting to go through. And we're just putting some of these purple sequins. They're like no-hole sequins from Spellbinders. And I'm putting those on here. I was thinking about some twine, but then I decided these were such a great color match that I'm just going to add 3 of these little babies on here just to give it a little bit of shine to go along with that glimmered sentiment. Now, this is the traditional sentiment set, and I will have these linked for you down below. And I just think these are beautiful. They glimmered so pretty. So we're just going to add 3 of these little sequins to finish this off. And please let me know down below what you think of this video and, you know, the 5 cards, the 5 ideas, the techniques, the tips. I really had fun doing this. I just happened to have a morning where Randy was busy and I just went to town. I was so in love with these products. I just had, you know, a lot of times I don't get the time to do and just sit and play and play and play. And I just turned the camera on and played and played and played and played and brought you along with me. So I'm glad this ended up working out and I was able to just show you lots of different things all at once. This is a lot of fun. And now I was going to use yellow. It was a really good matching color. But then I had these gold ones left over from a project from an Altenew class I actually took a long time ago. It was actually If Erin Thompson is happening, a small chance watching this, Erin Thompson, I actually met her. She's the owner of Nashville Craft Retreat. And I actually met her in a local Altenew class here in town. And these sequins are actually left over from that class that I took from her. She would get a kick if she knew that. I'm going to have to message her and tell her that. But these gorgeous Altenew sequins, and I think they're even retired now. They came in like a little glass tube on the website, I think. But she gave us ours for our class in these little Ziplocs. And we had them left over. And I've had them. I've hoarded them. And I pulled them out for this project because they were in this bin and I needed to use them up. And they just gave this card that extra wow that this card needed. It needed some bling. It needed some sparkle. Now, I had an idea that I almost went into this sunflower with Copic markers, but I wasn't sure how the pattern paper would hold up. But I could totally see experimenting with that and adding some extra depth to that sunflower. I still want to color this sunflower with Copic markers, but I did see a lot of people already doing that. So I wanted to come up with a different way to use this background stamp. And I thought this was quite effective, but really easy. So if you wanted to mass produce this, this would be an easy way to do your Thanksgiving cards. Don't you think? Put a thankful Thanksgiving sentiment on here and pass out some Thanksgiving cards with this one. It would be really easy to do that. So I loaded this corner up with these gorgeous gold sequins around the gold sentiment, the glimmer sentiment. And now this is the press plate, of course, but I glimmered it. And it just gave this card a little bit wowness to it. Wowness, is that a word or is that a Melanie word? I don't know. But I like it. It gave it wowness. Sometimes, who knows? You know, when you do voiceovers, new words pop out of your mouth. But as long as we're having fun, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to hook these on here, and this baby is done. Look at those. I love those little tiny ones. So cute. There we go. So cute. Just pressing them down just a little bit with the end of my pokey tool. And there we go. Look how pretty. They gave it the shine that it needed. So we've got all of these so far. Now we've got, I believe, 2 more. No, just the one. Just the one. I need to move those up a little bit, don't I? So you can see. I think I do here in a second. I was thinking now on this one, I'm brainstorming here. I was thinking the white butterfly. Because I had this white butterfly. But I didn't see it. I thought that was taken away from the background. I want that background to shine. You know, my whole thing here is the backgrounds. You know? So I decided not to do the butterfly. And to be open and honest with you, I didn't have the body made either. Right here, I realized, oh, I was thinking of doing a half butterfly. And I was like, the body's missing. But I didn't like the way it disguised it. And then I thought, maybe we just need to do a simple card. And then I remembered I had this glitter cardstock. This is an old not Spellbinders. This is an old Stampin' Up! Cardstock that I found when I was purging a corner of my craft room, which I actually recorded, guys. Leave me in the comments below if you want to start seeing purge videos from my craft room. Leave me a comment. Is it something that would interest you? I don't know if I'm willing to do it. I did record it, though, my first purge. I don't know. Do you want the absolute truth? I don't know. You guys are going to have to tell me. But I found that gorgeous paper in my purge, and it's a keeper. I'm not lying. I'm not getting rid of that one. And we used it on this card because if it's gorgeous, you need to use it, and we're using it. It's no longer available, but I have sources of rainbow paper if you want a rainbow cardstock like that. But this actual glitter rainbow one is not available. Sorry. But it was perfect for this, and I believe you need to use up what you got, and that's what the purging is all about. So if you got a ton of stuff in your craft room and you want to purge, I highly recommend you join my new group called Confessions of a craft supply hoarder. Yes, that's me. Okay, back to the card. So I made these layers, and look at that. It's just quick, easy, simple, but effective, right? All our cards don't have to be super, super detailed. These cards, I think, turned out really pretty. I was trying to decide which way to go. Which way looked better? I wasn't sure. But I went with this one. And then I had to decide which direction to make the paper go. But it all turned out in the end. And I really had fun with this video, and I hope you guys have had fun with it too. Alex, if you're watching, thank you so much, girlfriend. I have had a thoroughly good time playing with your products, and thank you for all of the support. And I apologize for all the dings in the background during this video. I turned it off, but Apple has other plans for this video, so I apologize for those dings. So here we go. All of the cards, all 5. Which one is your favorite? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. As always, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for hanging out with me. You know that one is my favorite. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.